What's up, people? Let me introduce myself. My name is Chay Eday, otherwise known as the Queen of Clean, and I am here to get rid of the dirty dirt and help some of those people out in TV land and Celebrityville come clean. That's right, people. It is time to come clean, and there is no better person to help that process along than me, Chay Eday, the Queen of Clean. So, I tell you what, I was not waiting and ready to do this kind of video demonstration, because it will be a demonstration. But I just finished watching The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 7, Episode 11. And I have to tell you, it has gotten me all kinds of crazy. I needed to find my broom, my mop, my dustpan, and get to cleaning. Because some of those broads out there, they are just plain dirty. They play dirty, they work dirty, they live dirty, they sleep dirty. Oh, and we will name names. Definitely. That is the only way to come clean, when you have to approach and examine the dirt in order for it to be truly scrubbed, washed, and rinsed clean. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to review the last two episodes. Episode 10 of Season 7 and Episode 11 of Season 7. Because to me, they are a great couple. The two together has just brought the clean freak in me out. Oh, and by the way, when I'm done, yes, I will need a shower. And hopefully, things will be a lot cleaner in Atlanta. All right, so let's get started. We're going to backtrack a little bit to Episode 10, as I told you, and then we will jump right into where it picked up in Episode 11. So, I've been watching, I've been listening to a lot of the feedback out there, a lot of the comments, a lot of the other reviewers and bloggers out there who had a lot to say about the epic showdown between Demetria and Phaedra, as well as Claudia and Nene. I mean, a few other things happened in Episode 10, but I'm really not that interested in it. Claudia's feet has gotten enough shout outs and a whole lot of sympathy, so I'm not going to add mine to it. And Shady Phaedra, her coming for Demetria at her place of business, asking her all kinds of inappropriate questions. It's gotten a lot of backlash and commentary out there, and I really don't have a lot to add to it. The only thing that I would add to that situation is, why was Nene and Phaedra up in her studio during her session? I mean, for someone that they do not seem to respect, I don't know if they like her or not. I can tell you they definitely do not respect her, as we have seen. For them to go up all the way, put on their shoes, get in the car, drive themselves over to her place of business while she's recording and trying to make her career, make her mark, make her money and her coin, make herself happy. Why were they there? To tell her relationship advice? That seems a lot of energy for someone to get up and go out of their own house on their own busy, mortician, Broadway lifestyles to go reach this girl and say something. Asking her if she does crack. You know what? That was funny. When she asked her, have you done crack? That was good. And you know what made it good? I mean, it's a crazy question, and it's all kinds of inappropriate and rude. But the funny part is when Phaedra says it, she has this really soft voice, and she likes to blink after she delivers the question. And she has this real interested in the answer kind of stare, like she's waiting for some information out of you. Well, have you done crack? That part to me, that is the funniest part of that whole thing. And, you know, Demetria has her mouth open, looking at her. I don't know why she didn't check her right then and there and say, excuse me, you are being rude. But for her to wait till she invites them somewhere to Puerto Rico to what? Support her more? Give her more support than they already have? Like, once that day happened, I would not invite you to Puerto Rico for you to listen to me and support me in my singing career. You would be off the list. But, you know, Bravo's got a show to do. Shout out to Bravo. They've got, you know, they've got to make something happen, get some kind of production value out of these women's lives. And so, okay, fine. She puts them on the list. But when we get to Puerto Rico, first of all, the subject matter between Nene and Phaedra getting shown their rooms, and Nene has nothing nice to say but, I can make it work. It's kind of small. Well, why don't you take all the money that you have as a rich bitch and upgrade? Why don't you head down the road to one of those 5 stars that you seem to be accustomed to from Athens, Georgia? I don't know where in Athens, Georgia you got accustomed to 5-star, but since this is beneath you, okay, then why didn't you just upgrade and say, you know what, I will meet you guys for dinner. I'm just going to go check in. I'll just be up the road. I'm just going to check in real quick and I'll be right back. Ready for dinner. Like, why didn't she do that? Because fundamentally, she's fraudulent when she acts too high and mighty. She says she's a real girl. She's a down-home girl. You know, maybe, but you don't show it. You don't act it. So I guess it's true if by true you mean a lie. You know, that's fine. And so, again, but that's the kind of support you shipped over to Puerto Rico, Demetria. You shipped over the worst kind of support. What kind of support did you think you were going to get? And, you know, I understand moving forward in the evening, I understand that she was trying to establish a relationship with the group. But at the same time, she needs to take a page out of Phaedra's book. Phaedra has a relationship with the group. Phaedra gets her check. Yes, she does. She's invited back season after season. But she is not really friends with any of them. Same thing can be said for Kandi. She needs to follow Kandi's lead too, because Kandi isn't really friends with any of the women. She wasn't friends with the women in the past. She wasn't friends with Kim Zolciak. She wasn't friend. People can work together and not be friends together. And so hopefully, as time goes on, Demetria will learn that. I can't even say, I almost wanted to say, well, she's young. She'll learn. The fact of the matter is she's really not young. I mean, shout out to all the 30-somethings. I'm not young either, but I'm not pretending to be young. Doing these dance moves. What are these dance moves about? Okay, here's a topic I have not heard discussed on the internet. When Demetria is dancing with her background dancers, first of all, the amount of energy your background dancers are giving to each pop and lock, Demetria is giving like 5%. Demetria looks like she just got the routine the night before. and she was jet lagged and went to sleep instead of practicing. Like, she has no energy whatsoever behind any of the moves. And so as a result, what ends up happening is her background dancers look like they did crack. Maybe they did the crack. They took out of Demetria's purse while she was playing crackhead on TV. Because they put in all kinds of elbows and knees and putting their back into it. And there is Demetria just doing a little side shuffle step, side shuffle. I can't. Oh, let me take a moment. Nope, it's not gonna help. Let's just keep going. So that being said, she did go out of her way to organize this trip, to welcome people, to encourage people. Oh, I got myself crying. It's too early to cry. We have not even reached the read-off between Nene and Claudia. But okay, as I said, she's trying to make a trip. She's trying to get her name out there. She's trying to get Bravo to record her while she's singing. Maybe a real producer and a real manager. Other than Roger Bobb, because he has robbed her. He has robbed her of her youth. Wasted 8 years of that girl's time. He sure has. He has robbed her of her opportunities. He has robbed her of her time. And I'm pretty sure he's robbed her of her talent. I mean, she's got a little. I assume she had a lot going in to these 8 years. She's got a little bit left. Hopefully she could rebuild. Hopefully she could get it going, create some more. But he has robbed her. I'm going to call him Roger Bobb. I'm not going to say it too fast, Roger Bobb. But that's how I feel about that dude. I have no idea why he did not break up with her before she signed the contract. Because his name is being dragged through the mud. He does not look any kind of good. In any kind of way. He does not. He doesn't look good. He doesn't sound good. He doesn't even look like he smells good. He just looks dirty. And he really should come clean. Come clean with her. And give her the rest of her life back. That's what he could do. But anyway, so we're down in Puerto Rico. Doesn't it look beautiful in Puerto Rico? I don't know. I've never been. I don't know anyone who's ever been. But it looks so lovely and so sort of chill. It's a perfect place just to chill. And so they're down there and they're getting ready and they all gather around for dinner. And it seems like Demetria wanted to kick things off with a little clarity. And you know what? I've heard a lot of people and I've read a lot of people supporting Demetria for saying what is on her mind. I personally have no problem with that. I feel, the opportunity was back in the studio. Because if you are feeling a certain type of way about a situation that we had together, back in America was where you should have addressed it. But to invite me down to another country and to feed me, give me drinks, and then say, oh, I have a problem with you. It seems a little bit off-timed. That's what it seems like. It seems like that to me. But okay, here's the cameras. Here we go. Maybe she needs a minute to think about what she's going to say. Maybe she's Cynthia. Everybody's attacked Cynthia last year for being a flip-flopper. Listen, Cynthia needs a moment to think about what she's going to say. And maybe the world should learn from Cynthia. And instead of criticizing Cynthia, that she takes a minute. But it does come off more than a little late. That's the problem. If you want to shout and scream at the moment, there's criticism. Well, why didn't you think about what you were going to say? Did you even consider the repercussions of your words? Words hurt. And then at the same time, if you take a minute, you go to sleep, you say a little prayer, you stare into your cup of tea or something, and then you come back and address it. it looks like you're late, or someone told you what to do or say, or you're not really sure on your position. So, you know what? Either way, everybody's built a little bit differently. So, I'm not going to judge that too harshly. But as I said, waiting for you to invite me to Puerto Rico, sit down, drink, eat, take your shoes off, enjoy, and then to say that you have a problem, that was a little bit much to me. However, she was very clear when she spoke, which was great. I just didn't want her flubbing around and I just didn't want any of that from her. Because if you really went around and took the time to take surveys, and what do you guys think? And what do you guys think? And should I say something? When you decide to speak, I really want you to be clear about what you say. On a side note, people, I did want to go back a few episodes back to when we first met Demetria, and the episode was called Nice Demetria. I do want to address that. I just want to mention, I want to add my 2 cents to the comments on what Demetria wore to her video launch party. The party where the video did not launch and nobody seemed to have a good time. I want to talk about that outfit because this was our first really getting to watch and learn about who Demetria is. She was launching her career to the rest of the world while she was trying to launch this video to the crowd in the room. And I know all the ladies were there and were invited, and it's part of filming, but what was Demetria wearing? And it's a shame that in the future she and Phaedra did not become good friends. I really think that she missed an opportunity to become Phaedra's friend, true friend, based on that outfit that she wore. Because as we all know, Phaedra is an attorney. And in my opinion, she could have used Phaedra to sue her stylist for breach of trust and fraud. Those are 2 charges that I think would have stuck. And she should have got some compensation for. It just was, and you know what? It was bad. It was really bad, especially when these glamour gods, the housewife women, say what you will, they do know how to dress for an occasion. When they show up and they sit all perched on their seats, sipping their cocktails, and here you come, giving me a little bit of, what was she giving us? I think she was giving us a little bit of Olivia Newton-John with a sprinkling of Cyndi Lauper. It had nothing to do with today, and it had even less to do with good. So I think that Demetria missed an opportunity. She could have had 2 successful lawsuits on her hands, and Phaedra would have been great to help steer her through that. But, anyways, going forward, she is looking better, and she certainly sounds very good. I am very excited and supportive of everyone who wants to pursue their dream to go ahead and do that. And she seems very talented. It is hard to sing live and get noticed by industry professionals. And so, I hope she does well that way. But girl, take a minute. I don't know, up your budget or something. But you need to do better on a national stage when it comes to your glam decisions. And I wish you all the best. I just wanted to insert that into the dialogue. Especially because we all know Phaedra can really cut bad. When she uses her words, Phaedra can you remember Kenya at the reunion. and the sperm bank comments. You remember. You know you were envisioning that guy trying to get that medium-sized pizza and donating sperm. I mean, that, to me, that was a read beyond read. There is nothing that happened tonight that beat Phaedra telling Kenya exactly what she is. And I'm sorry, because I do like Kenya. And, you know, I find that she adds a lot of enjoyment to the show. But that reunion, I don't know how Kenya got out of bed the next day. I really don't know how she stood up. She gained my respect by actually leaving her house the next day. When I saw her, you know, image somewhere else other than underneath the bed, you know, I had a lot of respect for her, because that was destruction. That was destruction. So I'm glad to see that Demetria was speaking to Phaedra and telling Phaedra exactly what she had a problem with. What I don't appreciate is Phaedra acting like she has no IQ. Whatever do you mean? Did you think that was shade? I think that's what she said to her. I don't appreciate your shade. She says, did you think that was shade? Sorry about that. I think that tactic might have worked with Porsha. I am just too dumb to understand Porsha. People might have believed her, but honestly, Phaedra, you were not fooling anybody by acting surprised. She should have said, I was being slick, I was joking, I was amusing myself, and I see that you have carried those comments with you, and I want to apologize. That's how you come clean, people. That's how you come clean. And instead, we had a lot of denial and a lot of, you know, lip movements. And all, you know, all the stuff that Phaedra is great at doing. And so Demetria got dirty. She did. She started talking about Apollo and, you know, comparing her. Although, I'm sorry, Demetria, that was rehearsed. We all know someone fed you that line, or you heard or read that line and decided to carry it forward into the conversation. You know, I'm sorry, Demetria. Do not think you are going to fool the rest of the world. You could fool yourself for 8 years, but you're not going to fool us for 8 seconds. No, you are not. So, you know, lines delivered. Fine. Took a jab. Fine. It really did shut Phaedra up, though. It really did. But she wanted to tell us to look at her ring, that she has a husband. I mean, that's a disqualification. 8 years for fraud disqualifies you from mentioning him as one of your accolades, if we want to go into accolades, right? So, but after that, I noticed she stayed real quiet. She didn't really have anything to say, which, you know, Phaedra really can speak. And so for her to stay quiet, I feel like Demetria handled what she needed to handle when it comes to Phaedra. However, let us go. Are we ready? Are we ready to address the dirt of the readout, read down with Nene and with Claudia? I mean, I know what Nene's about. I know she has more than enough mouth to defend herself. So in the end, I really don't feel sorry for someone who can defend themselves. Whether or not they're successful, they say something, they defend themselves, they take their jabs. So I'm not going to feel sorry that you got jabs taken back at you. Dish it out, grab a fork so that you can eat it when it's served to you. Okay? But going into the whole thing, I always kept thinking, Claudia's going to stop. She's going to stop. And every time Nene took a breath, Claudia spoke more. And that's one of Nene's techniques I've noticed over the years. I'm sure all you guys have noticed it too. Let me know if you've noticed that Nene just overtalks people. And while they're collecting their thoughts or trying to get a sentence out, she turns up the volume and keeps speaking. Because really, she's not speaking to the person she's in an argument with. She's speaking to the audience who was standing around at the time. Whether it be her friends, people at the club, Bravo, cameramen, she's not speaking to you. She's just having you stand in front of her while she lets everybody around her hear her feelings on the situation. You know? And so I was impressed by Claudia holding her own. I mean, people think it was the read of a lifetime. No, I don't. But it was really good. It was good. It was good. And I just want to go over some of my highlights. You know, hit me up on the comments if you've got your own highlights. But my highlights were when she said to her, when Nene said, you know, I am rich. I am rich. You wish you had my money. And when Claudia said, and that's the hair you chose to buy? I mean, is that the hair you chose to buy? That was good. Claudia has the right comeback right there. She said, I don't understand. Is that the hair you chose to buy with all your money? I mean, the fact that you're talking about your money, you're weak anyways. Because I know, and I'm sure all of you out there know, the really, really rich people never talk about how rich they are. It's just people who got 2 extra coins all of a sudden want to come back to the rest of us and tell them, oh, I got money. I got money. You wish you had money. I got money. That's tired. And hopefully, you know, she'll see the videos and decide to just end that whole line of comebacks. Because it's over. It's done. But going into episode 11 now, you know, we see more of the conversation, more of the argument, more of the readout. And at the same time that she is coming at Claudia about her money and her status and her wealth, you know, Claudia is looking at her saying, by the way, what are you wearing right now? If you are so highfalutin, what are you wearing? What is that dress? And Nene wants to make sure that Claudia knows, oh, honey, this is straight off the runway. Straight off the runway. And, you know, Claudia tries to, you know, basically discredit her, saying, you know, it doesn't look like it. Because, first of all, they're not going to make it off the runway in your size. So it is not off the runway. And, you know, that was a cute comeback. When, you know, but it's a little cheap when you talk about people's size. It's a little cheap. It's the same way when Nene, you know, is talking about Claudia, you know, how sexually active she's been in her life, how many people she's had sex with herself. It's cheap. It's cheap. It means you really don't have anything, you know, of substance to say when you go for that topic. So I was a little disappointed that Claudia started going after her, you know, regarding her size. What she should have said was, really, Nene? Straight off the runway? You mean straight off the runaway slave who had it on first? That's what she should have said to me. Did you see it? It had all kinds of patches and different fabrics and different patterns and colors all sewn in. It really did look like it was off of a runaway slave. I can hear the dogs now. No time to shop. So, I mean, she did her best and she came with it. And the fact that she didn't sit quietly, to me, gave her the victory. No matter what Nene said, the fact that she did not sit quiet, she did not stand there with her mouth open, like a lot of the casualties along the way over this franchise of Atlanta Housewives. She made sure she had something to say back. Every time Nene opened her mouth, she had something to say back. You know, and one thing that I think that Claudia also missed, instead of really going after people for, oh, they don't make that in your size. Because then you end up just looking like a skinny bitch who, you know, is a little bit of a snob themselves. And it's okay and it's fabulous to be slender, young, fit, cute, and all the things that Claudia is. Those are great, great, great things. One thing, though, you gotta leave out is snob. That makes everything great about you irrelevant. So hopefully she thinks that one through a little bit more, and figures that out as she watches herself and hears people ask her about quotes that she's gotten. But, one thing she could have went after, though, is where it hurts for Nene. I mean, she really don't care what you think of her looks, her fashion, because she's got her own fashion line. She's got how many seasons Broadway. She really doesn't care about any of that. That's all external things that she has coming and going, TV shows. What you could have went after was her relationship with Greg, because that is Nene's husband, and she has brought him to heel like a dog. Because before they got divorced, Greg, I'm sure, did a lot of things that were very dirty to Nene. And so Nene decided, I'm going to divorce you. I'm going to leave your ass. I'm going to make a whole bunch of money, and then I'm going to remarry you with a prenup, if you're lucky. And so mad props to Nene for handling that, because I think of a lot of us women, we could really learn something about that. If they are dirty, don't get dirty with them. Leave them. Become in demand yourself, and then take them back under your terms if you so choose. But right now, as it stands, Nene has won that whole battle, except for the fact when you buy a prize, when you try and buy love, let's say, I know for sure, you buy love, you will never get a receipt, and it surely will not be returned. That's what I know. That's what I know. I've watched it many times. People try and buy love. It's never worth it. What you receive is never worth owning. That's some real tip advice from me to the world. Don't buy love. If you have to line up for someone to notice you, get out of the line, turn around, and walk the other way. Okay? But, Nene's going to learn that or not. It's up to her. That's what I know. And if you go after Greg, her prized possession, and it really is a possession. Speaking of Greg, is he not all kinds of 12 years a slave in your minds? Because he is in mine. I mean, this guy, every time I see him in the last couple seasons, he's talking about what he can do for Nene to have a better day and a better life. Let me help you pack. Let me clean the house. Let me cook you some food before you go. Let me raise your child. Make sure your child gets to school on time. That is all kind. It really, somebody, let's start a petition. Just like Sweetie back from the old Atlanta with Kim, and they started a petition, free Sweetie. Let's start a petition, free Greg. Hashtag 12 years are up. Oh, I'm making myself crack up. I hope you all are enjoying this with me. I hope you're having fun. I mean, I love watching the show. And, hopefully, if you like what you see, you click below, click the subscribe button, and we can have these conversations over and over again as the episodes and seasons go forward. But in the end, they all the ladies decided to squash it. I don't know about make peace. Maybe they decided to call a truce. And, that's pretty mature. Let's call a truce. I don't appreciate things about you, and you don't appreciate things about me. Let's call it truce. I'm not going to spend all of my energy telling you off and straightening you out. I'm not going to give you all of my energy. I gave you some, but I'm not going to give you all, and you don't have to give me all your energy trying to defend yourself. So they decided to call a truce. And, I think it was really mature of Demetria, really stupid, but really mature of Demetria to go up to Phaedra and say, hey, you know what I said? It was inappropriate. It was inappropriate. And I should have never went there about your personal life like that. Because as Demetria is saying things to Phaedra, it then is obvious that she's becoming exactly what she objected to. Getting in people's personal business and making attacks on people's personal choices and the problems that they have in their personal lives. And so I'm glad, and I have mad respect to Demetria for recognizing that right away, that same trip. And behind closed doors with just Phaedra and her, looking her in her face and saying sorry. You know what? That I can respect. We can go off, we can make mistakes, but check yourself and you will always get props from me. You can have a mistake, but check yourself. And then come back and let's talk about it. And you know, Phaedra, did you guys hear Phaedra receive that apology? And did you all hear Phaedra try and give back an apology? Because, you know, Phaedra is so slick. She is so slick. She said, well, I appreciate your apology. There goes the blinking. And I was just hoping that you weren't going to be a fool and act like a goat. that is Phaedra's apology back. I was hoping you weren't going to be a fool and act like a goat so we can move forward. That is Phaedra's apology. That is good. Phaedra is slick. You know what? I'll take Nene on. I will never take on Phaedra. One thing I would take on, though, real talk between me and you, under different circumstances, without the prison involved, and if I were single, I sure would take on Apollo. No matter how much he messes up, all I could do is stay. He is cute. He is fine. You know, he got me thinking all kinds of, what is that? TLC. You know that song, that song about the red light? Baby, it's yours. He's got me inappropriate in my mind. Every time I see him, every time he walks into a scene, baby, it's yours, all yours. If you... Oh, hold on a moment. Baby, it's yours. All yours. If you want it tonight, I'll give you the red light special all through the night. No, that is inappropriate. Phaedra, do not come after me. There is no problem. I am clear. He is yours. There is prison. And you know what? Hopefully he has a nice long time out and comes back a stronger, more productive man. That is my sincere wish. Most sincerely. So yeah, so you know, that's basically the highlights of the episodes. It got me very entertained, a little bit heated, with a whole lot of laughter. Tell me what you guys found to be the funniest part of the last couple episodes, and what you think about my opinions on really, you know, Nene and Claudia and their epic showdown. It was epic, but do you think it was more epic than Phaedra and Kenya in the reunion? I certainly do not. I certainly do not. But you let me know what you think, and until next time, this is your girl, Chay Eday, the queen of clean. Hopefully we have scrubbed some dirt and laundered it clean. Until next time, peace and tranquility.